Hi friendlies, happy holidays and happy new year. I thought today would be a really good time since we're kind of in the middle of the holidays and the new year is upon us to tell you a story. And I'm hoping that this story is going to be inspirational. It's going to maybe help you deal with those toxic, negative people in your life. I've been thinking about this story a lot and I thought, this is a really good time to share it. It might uplift people. It might give you hope. It might give you some ideas for dealing with all the negativity that you might be experiencing in your life from loved ones, toxic family members, and things like that. Before I get started telling you the story, though, do me a favor and check your subscriptions. Even if you think you're subscribed to my channel, YouTube unsubscribes people. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It really, really helps me if you subscribe to my channel. Also, check it out. Our 2023 calendars are in stock. Thank you, everybody who has already ordered. They're on their way. They should be there any day. But check it out. I am getting so many compliments. This is even more exciting than last year. People are loving all the new pictures that I hand-picked, and it's just a lot of fun, good reminders of my travels and the videos throughout the year, and also just a nice addition to your home to maybe help you dream a little bit about being on the road. Check the video description below. They're only $24.99, including shipping and handling, for something that's unique, something that not everybody else on the planet is going to have. So do me a favor, if you haven't ordered yours, please order below. We still have some left. So check out the link in the video description. So now for my story. So I told you, I don't know, about a month ago, I think I did the video about how I got sober. Oh, and by the way, yesterday was my 14th sobriety anniversary. So that's a part of also the reason this has been on my mind, this story. So 14 years sober yesterday. As I've said in other videos, it's my 14 years sober, but it took me a little while to stop doing drugs. So it is a sobriety anniversary, not completely clean and sober. And that's my sobriety date. It's my sobriety. And some people took issue with me saying that I've been sober for 14 years since I took a while to get clean, but it's my sobriety. That's how I choose to do it. And kind of goes into this story. So when I first started exploring sobriety, exploring that I might have a drinking problem, I was, 19 maybe, and I was in therapy because my life just wasn't going the way I was thinking it should have gone. I was doing a lot of risky behavior. I was doing a lot of weird things. I was getting drunk and blacking out even at 19. And so the therapist that I was seeing suggested that, I might have a drinking problem and maybe I should start going to some AA meetings. I think it might have been my first AA meeting. I walked into the rooms very shy, very unsure, even if I needed to be there, but I knew my life was kind of a mess. It was just a mess. I wasn't happy. I was suicidal. I was very unhappy. Like I said, just doing a lot of crazy, stupid things that weren't making me feel any better about myself. And so I walked into the room and sat through the meeting, and immediately two girls my age, 19, two young women about my age, approached me. I think I may have raised my hand as a newcomer, probably. They approached me and invited me out for coffee. And so I was like, okay, I'll give this a try. Let's go out for coffee with these women and see what this is about. We sat in a diner in a booth, and they sat across from me, and they obviously knew each other. They were friends, probably program friends. They knew each other. And I remember sitting there across from them. They were light, they were playful, they were happy, they were silly, they were giggly, they just kept joking and even trying to pull me in. And I was just sitting there thinking, oh my God, they're so fake. Oh my gosh, this is so phony. Nobody can really be that happy. And I remember my insides just getting twisted up, almost angry over how happy they seemed, and really convincing myself nobody can be that happy. Because I'd never been that free with someone. I had never felt that kind of lightness, that kind of just camaraderie, because I was so weighed down in my addiction and my shame. I couldn't understand being that happy And I couldn't understand sharing that happiness with being comfortable enough with another person to just let go and laugh like that. I just couldn't get it. And therefore, my mind instantly went to, they're faking. Why are they faking? Why are they pretending? What are they trying to prove? Why are they trying to trick me into thinking sobriety is so fun? Nobody is that happy. Nobody can be that happy. I mean, I still remember that. It had such a huge impact on me. Of course, now that I've done the work on myself, now that I have worked through my demons and worked through my shame, now I completely understand why I felt the way I did. And that's why I wanted to tell you this story today and kind of maybe help you when you're faced with people who want to bring you down. I mean, I didn't verbalize anything. I didn't sit there and say, oh, you're so full of crap. Oh, you guys are fake. I internalized it. That's just how I handled my stuff. But I've thought about this story so much, especially lately, but over the years, but especially lately because I think I've finally worked through so much of the negativity and a lot of the trolling that I have dealt with throughout the history of my career as a YouTuber. And it's just really, maybe I'm finally getting to the other side of healing from all of the stuff that I have dealt with, but I'm able finally to see that exact thing that I was feeling in the people who criticize me. And I get criticized weekly, sometimes daily, depending on the videos that I put out. But I'm criticized on a regular basis. And this story helps me think about the criticism, the toxicity, the efforts that people go to try to tear me down. It helps me understand that a little bit more. And I thought this would be a really good story to tell around the holidays because I know a lot of people are seeing family members that you may not see the rest of the year. You might have to deal with past people in your life who have been toxic and who have tried to pull you down. And so I thought it would just be a really good reminder that when a person is not feeling good in themselves, when they see something in you that they can't have because they don't have the strength, they don't have the power, they don't have the tools, because they weren't able to do the work to get the things they want, they're going to tear you down. There's a book I'm reading, and I want to read a couple quotes, and maybe that's also part of the reason it's on my mind. And I'll put a link to this book in the video description so you can get it on Amazon. The book is called Women Don't Owe You Pretty. Great book, very insightful. She's an LGBTQ author, so she also writes from the perspective of that experience, that life experience. But she does write from the perspective of all women and what all women in our culture experience. And one of the quotes that I wanted to read you that is perfectly in line with this experience that I'm talking about. So remember, when I was so unhappy within myself, that I couldn't even acknowledge that laughter and giggliness was real, I chose to call it fake. I chose to believe, rather than believe that it was something lacking in me, that they must be fake. They must be putting on a show, because that can't possibly be real. Now that I can draw on that story, I'm able to understand people who want to drag me down, who want to call me fake, who want to tell me that I'm full of shit, who want to tell me, just the other day, someone said, oh, I know as soon as you shoot these videos, you go back to your house. You know, people see in me something they aren't able to have within themselves, and rather than acknowledge that and do the hard work that I have done, they need to pull me down. They need to call me fake. They need to call me a liar. They need to call me ugly. They need to call me fat. They need to try to take away my shine, my sparkle, really. And they're doing the same to you. And that's why I'm telling you this story, because I know so many of you I have heard from deal with people in your life who try to dull your shine, who try to take your power away, who try to pull you into their own fear. And it's only because they haven't reconciled within themselves their own fear, their own doubt, their own unhappiness. Okay, so let me read you this quote. So Women Don't Owe You Pretty by Florence, it's by Florence Given. And this couple quotes that I want to share with you because I think they will help you too when you're dealing with negativity or when you're dealing with angry people in your life or people who just want to bring you down and take away your excitement. Like maybe you're thinking about hitting the road and instead of being happy for you, they want to fill you with their own nervousness, their own fear, their own anxiety instead of supporting you. Or many of you, I know I've heard from many of you, I talk about toxic family and how toxic family just can't stand to see you shine. And so they will beat you up every chance they get. And this might help you. So Florence Given writes, so when we hear others exude confidence, this is people who haven't done the work, people who are unhappy within themselves. So when we hear others exude confidence, it can remind us that we don't really value ourselves as highly as we should. We're forced to see the reality that deep down we don't really love ourselves, and to cope we might try to tear down those people who do. I get this all the time. The more confident I am, the more people want to tear me down. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So remember that whenever you show any confidence, there are going to be some people who are going to tear you down, but it's only because they don't have the confidence you're exuding within themselves. So that's pretty powerful, right? And the next one I love. I think the next one is also huge. If someone tells you that you're too much, it's because they don't feel enough. I've heard that a lot. If someone tells you that you're too sensitive, it's because deep down they envy your ability to be vulnerable, your capacity to feel, and the freedom you give yourself to express your feelings. Hurt people hurt people. Stop breaking yourself down into bite-sized pieces. Stay whole and let them choke. So I just really thought that this story coupled with these quotes, and this is a great book if you want to check it out. I'll put a link in the Amazon link in the video description. She also goes on to say, we are all responsible for our own healing. I've had conversations, I think, on Twitter about this whole hurt people hurt. I don't buy that. I mean, I buy it. Yes, hurt people hurt, but we are all responsible for our own healing. I hurt. Horrendous, disgusting, horrible things have happened to me. I don't go around flinging my hurt outward at other people. Instead, what I have chosen is a path of healing, self-awareness, and as much as I am able to be a good person helping others. I choose to use my experience like this to help others, not to tear other people down. So remember, when someone is trying to tear you down, it's because they see something that they can't have, and so they must destroy it. Really, right? That's what it is. They see something in you, a power, a vibrance, a courage, a love, a vulnerability, a sensitivity. They see something in you that they have not been able to gain for themselves because they have not done the work. So it's not you. Go on, keep shining your bright star. Keep on being the brave, courageous, strong, inquisitive, caring person that you are. Just remember, the people who try to tear you down the most do it because they can't stand seeing you shine, because they can't shine within themselves because they don't know how, or they don't have the courage to do the work. So that's my story. Something to think about as we all go into 2023, okay? Let me know if this has helped you. Leave your comments and your thoughts below. I hope it has helped you. I mean, if I can share anything that I have learned over not only my lifetime, but also being a YouTube creator and being in the public eye and having every possible disgusting thing flung at me that you can imagine, that's also a learning experience, right? It's also a way for me to reflect and for me to be stronger and stand in my truth and stand in my strength and especially stand in my power. That's what all of this has taught me, how powerful I am. If I weren't powerful, people wouldn't hate so much. Same with you. If you weren't powerful, if you weren't a force to be reckoned with, if you weren't independent, people wouldn't be criticizing. People wouldn't be trying to tear you down. So whenever somebody tries to tear you down, remember it's because you're strong. It's because you're powerful. All right, leave your thoughts below. I hope you found this story helpful. Happy New Year. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be free, be kind. It's a lesson for me too. Still working on it. Want to see Sadie? Hi, Sadie. Say hi. Oh, look at that face. All right. Thank you, friendlies. Bye.